From being in this course this semester, I have learned how the world that we all know came to be. With the evolution of civilizations, people becoming leaders, people creating religions out of thin air, which is pretty cool. But today, I will talk about the pyramids of ancient Egypt. This topic is interesting to me because the structures are massive and built with nothing other than people and their own inventions to get the big, huge sandstones to the very top of the building. Let us begin the story of the gigantic structures and the rulers that thought of them. Pyramids are one of the last standing ancient wonders of the world. No one knows how it was made, but it was put together with the help of the lower people of Egypt, the peasants. Let me begin with some history about how the pyramids were created. This amazing structure can be traced back to Imhotep, who was the advisor to the pharaoh Djoser, around 2630 to 2611 BC. Imhotep was a very intelligent man. He was the highest priest, a keen astronomer, a doctor, he can even read hieroglyphics. He created the step pyramid since it was like a giant stairway to heaven, and Djoser passed on. He was buried in one of the step pyramids. The next pharaoh, Snefru, that ruled during 26,000 BC. He wanted to create something amazing during his time as pharaoh. He began to make ideas of adding another step to the step pyramids. But he decided to make his own structure, but he could not get the right angle for the pyramids. After many years of trying, he had enough. After his reign, his son Khufu became pharaoh, and after seeing his dad make so many pyramids, he built one that had walls that were not too steep and not sloping. He built two more of these massive structures for his family members to rest peacefully in the afterlife. Instead, the pyramids would be a tomb for the royals and a place for all the treasures they have gotten during their time as ruler of Egypt. As you can see in this ancient place has many advancements, so I decided to use it for my final assignment since there were many things we had talked about in the class that I found while researching for this assignment. One of the first things I had found that the people of the civilization were not given any money from building the pyramids, but they were given food instead. This helps the workers support their own families and keep them fed and healthy. Next, the leaders at the time thought it was a bad idea to give the peasants food instead of money. I think that's a better idea of giving money because civilizations would not lose money and stay a rich place for a longer period. Finally, since the pharaohs were atop of the hierarchy system, they would be buried in the tombs or pyramid with their own treasure. In conclusion, ancient Egypt did not need technology to advance themselves in a society. They used their trust in each other to build huge, tall, and interesting structures. They used whatever was around them to make the pyramids. The leaders used their own people to create things that would stay on this earth for thousands of years. These structures that the peasants have made so many years ago are still around today for people around the world to study each of them and try to figure out how one person's idea for a tomb turned into one of the most visited places for people to go since the tallest man-made structure in the world. The gold and treasures may not be in the tombs today, but you can still go in them and imagine how much of the rooms were filled with treasure to help the pharaohs in the afterlife.